Mallory Hartley, Dave Campbell's Texas football, all the way down from San Antonio, Texas, sitting down with San Antonio Madison 2026 wide receiver Jordan Clay, right in front of the trophy case. How much motivation is this for you guys when you get to see this pretty much every day, probably after practice?
Yes, man, it's a lot. It's, the coaches here are trying to build something special. So to be able to see this and see the success that we've had in the future or in the past, we want to take that into the future and be able to have a trophy in there one day.
I want to take it back all the way to when you were a kid,
yes,
when your football journey first started.
Mm-hmm.
What age did you get into football and how did you start playing in the first place?
So my favorite player was Odell Beckham Jr. Liked him since he was at LSU. I just seen him play and how he played the game, so it kind of just inspired me to get on the football field. I started pretty young. I would say I wasn't the most physical kid. I wasn't always, who I am now. So it was a little rough at the beginning, but once I got into it a lot more and was able to, get to learn and just get to see from different aspects of other people in the game, I kind of fell in love with it. And since then, I started around 6 or 7, and then now it's been rolling.
Yeah. What kinds of things did you do when you were young to kind of turn you into the football player that you are today? Because you said, you weren't maybe as physical back then as you are now, but what kinds of things did you do to kind of make you who you are today?
I will say the thing that turned on that physical, button for me was we were at practice and my coach told me, he was like, what's one thing that makes you super mad? And he was like, I was like, my mom, like people that talk about my mom. And he was like, just imagine this dude right here is talking about your mom. And I went out there, and since that day, the physical thing it wasn't a thing to me anymore. Like, I just loved hitting at that point. So, it's definitely my mom. Like, she's my why when it comes to the football stuff. So, that's my drive.
And I love that because your mom's actually right over here watching you do the interview. Talk about y'all's relationship a little.
Oh, we have a great relationship. Me and my mom, it's been me and her my whole life. So, the relationship we have is, it's genuine. I love her. She's every step of the way. She's there for me. She makes everything I need. I have it. So for her to be along me with this process, and it's been a lot of it's a big learning process because it's her first time, and it's really my first time being in the recruitment process and getting go to these schools and, like I said, take official visits, and so we're both still learning, but throughout the process it's been a great process, and I love having her right by my side. If
you could be anything in the world, right? Let's take football out of it for a second.
Yes, ma'am.
What would you maybe major in, or what would you want to become someday?
Something a lot of people don't know about me is I'm really into animals. I love animals, so if I don't do something that is in the coaching world, or maybe coming back and being like a college coach, something with animals. Maybe not a veterinarian, but something where I can go out and maybe I don't know what it would be, but take samples on animals, get to learn of animals, and so that's a big thing that not a lot of people know about me. Is I love animals.
I love that. You've been a starter on varsity since your freshman season. Were you born and raised in Texas?
Yes, ma'am.
You were? Were you born and raised in San Antonio?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you're a San Antonio native. You've been here
ma'am.
your entire life. Like I just said, you've started on this team since your freshman season.
Yes, ma'am.
Talk to me a little bit about what you've learned throughout this process. Maybe your development from, you said you started week 2 your freshman season on varsity, all the way up and now entering your senior year.
Yes, ma'am. When I first had got here, they gave me the option, like, do you want to play JV and play a little bit more, or do you want to try varsity? And it wasn't really guaranteed on if I would play or not, but me being me, I would just want to accept the challenge of seeing where playing on the varsity field would take me. I seen a little bit of minutes in my first game, and in my second game, coach came to me and he was like, you're gonna start this game. And from there on, it's all been rolling. It's been history from there. My second game, caught it the game time touchdown to get us into overtime, and since then it's leading in receptions, we're leading in yards per game. I was leading the whole stat sheet as a freshman, so it was I got thrown in the fire, and I think I handled it very well.
What would you say your biggest strengths are as a player?
Definitely say my hands. I have really big hands. I have 10.5-inch hands. So.
Let's see him. Show the camera. Yep, legit. Passes the eyeball test, by the way, too.
So,
he walked in and I was like, nice to meet you.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely my hands. I have really strong hands. Once the ball hits my hand, it's kind of like glued to them. I don't really drop the ball. High pointing the ball, I would say, is my biggest part of my game. When the ball's in the air, it's my ball. If it's not my ball, it's nobody else's ball. So that's definitely the mentality I have. If I can't get it, nobody can get it.
Right.
So that's definitely a big part of my game is high pointing the ball, creating separation. Being with my size, I'm able to create separation pretty good. And like I said, once I create the separation, and I only need that much room once the ball hits my hand. You can be on my back, you can jump with me, but it's never going to be a 50-50 ball with me.
And when it comes to your recruitment process, I know you said you've met so many people and learned so many things along the way. Maybe what's one of the biggest pieces of advice that you've been given to kind of follow through your recruitment process? I
will say we were at OT7 and Cam Newton had came up to me after we had played C1N, and he kind of just told me, he was like, you're a really good receiver. He was just giving me tips on, if a DB is going to try to press you with my size, just bully him, make him not want to press you.
I love it. So moving towards your recruitment process a little bit, you have over 30 offers,
yes, ma'am,
which is incredible. Talk to me a little bit about what that means to you and maybe the opportunities that those offers have opened to you.
Yeah. So kind of coming off of the offer standpoint of things, kind of just, it was always a reality. Like it was never, I've always talked about my mom, like when I was in my room playing football, catching the ball, and I didn't really think it was going to become true until it started coming true, and it became a reality. Like it became, I don't know how to explain it.
Just became like real to you.
Yeah, like it just became like it was a reality now. Now it became a work ethic. Like now it became like my life. Like it went from, like I said, catching balls in my room to now I'm working out every day on the field, doing multiple workouts a day to, perfect my craft. And, I'm also very thankful and blessed for all the schools that, have offered me and gave me the chance to, become to their program and be able to make an impact on their program.
Yeah.
So I definitely say that's also helped me. A lot of the coaches I met over this recruiting process, being especially one Coach Baker from Baylor, big, like he's really good when it comes to the recruiting process.
Yeah.
He's always talking to me, and he's helped me from a coaching standpoint, from a university. He's definitely, helped me as a man. I'm not even on the campus yet I haven't even committed to a school yet, and he's already treating me like I'm committed to his school and I'm one of his players. So he's definitely a really good role model, and he doesn't show no fake stuff. He's real off bat as 100%.
Well, speaking of Baylor, you have an official visit coming up, not this coming week, but the week after that.
Yes, ma'am.
What are you looking forward to?
Baylor, I've been up there so much, I've got to know all the coaches by heart now. Just being up there, just the family aspect of things, just wanted my family to get up there and get a feel for all the coaches, because, I've already created that relationship with the coaches. So just for my family to be able to get up there and, interact with the coaches and be up there for a few days and get the real spill on everything, and, get to sit in the office with the coaches, and, I can't wait for that part of it, just can't wait to get, around everybody again. It's a great school, great university, great campus. Like it's beautiful, and the coaches are even better.
Obviously, Baylor's towards the top of your list, but you have other official visits that you're going to be taking. Colorado coming up. How excited are you to get to Boulder?
I'm very excited. I think they have 3 or 4 Hall of Famers on their coaching staff.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be a great experience, a great learning experience. I'm definitely going to ask a lot of questions. So them dudes that have been at the highest level and succeeded very well at the highest level. They came a little later in my recruitment process, but there's a reason that they got into the top 10, and they're going to be in the top 5 too. So, I like that school.
And finally, you have one more official scheduled, and that's to Oklahoma. What attracts you about the Sooners?
I would definitely say how they offered me. I was kind of in the beginning of the process with them, I was a little iffy. Like I didn't know what they wanted. I don't know if they were just waiting out to see if they can get a certain dude before they offered me. But then when I seen how they offered me, it was crazy. They brought me to the middle of the field right before they played U of H, probably 5 minutes before the game. I had all the coaches out there, and they offered me right on the 50 in front of everybody.
Awesome.
And never had any school offer me like that and make it so genuine and special. So that's definitely a big reason on why they're in my top 10.
I love that. And finally, obviously don't give me a school, but at the end of the day, when you're ready to commit, what is going to be that one deciding factor that you can point your finger at and be like, that's the reason why I chose this program?
I'm really big on culture, the culture of a school. You know, I don't want to go to a school where if I get hurt, I won't ever hear from my position coach or my head coach. Because there is schools like that do that to players, and you know that's not something I want. Like I'm not big on logos. You know, me and mom have 3 things, and it's culture, coaches, and the offensive scheme that fits me. So a school, whatever school it comes down to, whoever fits me the best with that stuff, that's what I'm gonna pull the trigger to.
Well, I think that's all that we have for you today, but thanks for giving us the time, and of course we're wishing you the best of luck at Dave Campbell's Texas football, and hope your future is filled with hopefully NFL football, but if not, lots of snakes.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.